This is James Detroit in a series of videos today. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for watching. Separation of church and state. When our founders created this aspect of the Constitution, it was an intention for the people, the citizenry of the United States, to be able to worship however they wanted to. It was the intention that the state, the government, could not tell you how you could worship. Instead of allowing that to be the case over time, our liberties have eroded, and the effort by some, especially to try to eliminate faith, is that it's the separation of church and state, meaning there can be no prayer in schools, there can be no affiliation with the government and with faith. And so in God we trust, and so many of the documentation from our founders and our constitutional republic were based on their faith, their Christian faith. And so it was not established to eliminate faith in the state, in government. It was to simply say that you cannot have the state telling you how you needed to practice your faith. And yet, now today, maybe we should consider having a separation between corporations and state. Well, that's never going to happen. I mean, you think about it. Part of the deterioration of our constitutional republic has taken place through the lobbying aspect of what we've allowed to happen in D.C. from a federal standpoint. Northern Virginia and around Washington, D.C., I don't know that they've ever experienced a housing decline. I don't know that they've ever experienced a recession because so much money flows there. You know, the old saying, money is the root of all evil. And when Louis Cypher is knocking at our door, we should not let him in. But we do. Modern monetary theory, MMT. Just a year ago, it feels like, it was a conspiracy, a lunatic theory that this would ever actually work. That just like that there's a deep state. Are you kidding me? I can remember hearing the term deep state for the first time. Of course, and that's been in the last couple of years. But of course, we had Dwight Eisenhower in his exit speech to the Union warning of the military industrial, the deep state as we call it now, but it's a people behind the scenes. It was the military industrial complex that he warned us about. It's never gone away. It's only gotten bigger. And these things are really happening around us right now. You know, I try not to watch the news. I've been trying not to watch the news at all because you turn it on and you've got you've got the scoreboard up there and how bad everything is, and it's very much depressing. I've been reading more. I've been reading a lot, and I'm a slow reader. I used to joke around because it took me 14 years to get my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree, and part of it was because I worked full time, and we paid as we went to go to school. But I used to joke around, that's how slow a reader I am. It took me 14 years to graduate with a bachelor's degree. But I'm reading now more than ever, and it's a little challenging. It is a little bit challenging. And one of the people that I read, and this is something that Bill Bonner I came across here, and I'm gonna read this. Recently, people were up in arms when it came out that 4 senators sold stock after receiving a briefing on the coronavirus. That will seem innocent compared to what comes next. Inflation brings corruption. We'll see that clearly. We'll see, too, how sweeping changes will take place, changing the nature of our government and our legal system with no constitutional amendments and scarcely any discussion. And I would say I am adding now the Patriot Act and the CARE Act and habeas corpus and the elimination of that. part of both of those acts have lines in that legislation that allow imprisonment of American citizens without any notification. No, you don't have to read you your rights. Nothing. There's nothing that keeps them from imprisoning you without bond and without bail. The result, and this is back to Bill Bonner, the result, new huge taxes, capital controls, the nationalization of important industries, bank takeovers, to save them, of course, devaluations, asset seizures. Does this sound familiar? And when the going gets rough, governments get rough too. And that's Bill Bonner's take on some of this stuff. The reason why I use Bill Bonner, I enjoy his writing style. But of all the people that I read, most accurately, he tells me what he writes today, it ends up happening. Is it 6 months from now? Is it 18 months from now? Is it 24, 36 months from now? It's coming. He has been 100% accurate. He just does not have a crystal ball. He just sees it because the facts are right in front of all of us. And so I share this today. I hope that it's a little bit educational. It's challenging. These are challenging times we live in. I hope that we do not continue as a citizenry to blanketly give up our liberties and our rights and just say, I want to be protected. Gerald Ford said that a government that's big enough to give you everything you need is big enough to take everything you have. And we are witnessing this happening, and it's going to take an exponentially more rapid pace. So I hope that we are prepared for this. And in our preparation, we're going to try to purchase more cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, understand the blockchain ledger, and I have to do a better job of getting into that myself. But we're not alone. We've got a team. CWC is a team, and I got a lot of great people on that team, and I really appreciate each one of them. And as soon as we can start meeting together, which, again, we choose to listen to the government and say we can't meet together. And I think in a very short future, we're going to be taking things into our own hands and maybe meeting small groups, maybe 3 to 5, practicing some social distancing, but at least getting together so that we can try to move forward. And I do think that Steve Hilton is correct. Open where possible, closed where necessary. That's the stance the government should take on this. And we need to start, more of us need to start saying that right now. This is James Detroit. I hope you find this interesting. I hope you find this entertaining and efficient. If you like it, I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you sharing the views of somebody else. I'm out.